First things first, I don't think we should idolize or stan politicians. People on all sides do that way too much. I mean, I admit, even sometimes myself included, they're not demigods, they're human beings like anyone else, and they work for us. Not only if you, I would say, especially if you like them, you should hold them accountable and not, as I said, not treat them like celebrities. We do that far too much. Having said that, though, if I generally like someone, there is kind of a like, hey, that's awesome if I find out that they like a song or a band that I like. In other words, I'm not gonna, if it's someone I don't like or agree with, I'm not gonna then like them just because they happen to like something I like. People are drawn in by that like way too easily. That's why for example, like, in fact, if anything, it's almost a turnoff. When Kamala tried to say she listened to Tupac when she was in college, even though that was like 1994, and she would have been in college in the mid 80s. I mean, that weed wasn't that good that she was seeing the future. I mean, I do still like Tupac, but it's kind of leaves me, oh, like if I listen to him now, it's like, oh God, I'm associating him with her, and I don't. Kind of almost makes me cringe. But in a way, I'm also kind of glad that she try to make herself seem 10 years younger for that reason. I mean, it's like, I wouldn't want her, like, I don't want her ruining, like, 80s, mid 80s music for me. I wouldn't want her saying anything like that about, like, Lionel Richie or Prince or Billy Ocean or something like that. It would kind of spoil it for me if she, so I should be glad, but what prompted me to ask this or to say this was like, and I don't remember where I read it, but something that Bernie in the early 90s was kind of a fan of a Prince Diamonds and Pearls album and Red Hot Chili Peppers. Again, he was like, the dude's been old forever, so he was an older guy even back then. So, like, the level of fandom wouldn't be like what, it would just be, he was just a casual fan at best. I'm sure he was not, I was dancing the cream and get off as always a senator. I'm sure that he wasn't like, as I said, it wasn't that level. It was probably just a kind of like the music, kind of, certainly for the Chili Peppers, who are pretty solid leftists. I mean, they supported him twice, I believe, and he probably sided with them on on political issues. I mean, you got to remember his wife Jane helped, she ran a punk rock club in Vermont, which is in Burlington, which is kind of their answer to CBGB. So even if he was an older dude, I'm sure he was like somewhat connected to that scene at the time, or at least, even if he wasn't a fan of like the music as much, I'm sure he was at least a fan of the political message.